Welcome back everyone, I'm Plays Games, this is EVE Online. As you see, I am in my pod once again, and that means I need a new ship. And the ship we're going to be doing today is the first in a series all about running combat anomalies and escalations and other such things in pirate and faction cruisers. This is what you guys chose in the poll I put up on the channel a few months ago, so here we are. And the one we're doing today is the Gila. So let's find a Gila and simulate one. First of all, let's have a look at the ship traits. Per level of Galanti Cruiser, you get 10% bonus to kinetic and thermal missile damage, which is nice. And per every level of Caldari Cruiser, because this is a pirate ship and they do require both skills, where it's Galanti Cruiser and Caldari Cruiser. Per level of Caldari Cruiser, you get 4% bonus to all shield resistances. So at level 5, you will have a native 20% to all resistances, which is quite nice. And its roll bonus, this is what the Gila is all about, 500% bonus to medium combat drone damage, and 250% bonus to medium combat drone hit points. Now you may think this is a little overpowered, and to be honest, it really kinda is, but as we see in the attributes tab and we scroll down, it may have 100 cubic meter drone capacity, but it does only have 20 megabits a second drone bandwidth, and medium drones take up 10 each, so you can only field 2 medium drones, but they get massive bonuses. So let's have a look at the fitting screen. We have 5 high slots, 4 of which can be missiles, none of which can be turrets. So that means we'll probably do 4 missiles and a probe launcher, because I'm going to be using this thing for scanning. We have a whacking great big 6 medium power slots, which is really quite nice, because I don't think I'm going to do what most people do with Gila, which is to make pretty much all of these into shield and all the rig shield and some of the low slot shield as well. I'm going to be a bit smarter than that. I want to tailor the ship specifically to running combat anomalies very quickly, so I'll be putting all kinds of tracking and scanning and targeting stuff in the mid slots. And it only has 3 low slots, at least 2 of which are probably going to be drone damage amplifiers. 3 rigs, but being a pirate ship, it only has 350 calibration. Tech 1 ships have 400 calibration and 3 rig slots. Faction and pirate ships have 3 rig slots and 350 calibration. Tech 2 ships have 400 calibration but only 2 rig slots. So that is the ship introduced. Let's get down to work. Right, first thing I'm going to do, I am going to put on some rapid light missile launchers on this thing. Fill up all 4 missile slots. Now rapid light missile launchers are a bit of a pain in the ass because they do take 35 seconds to reload. If we have a look at the show info, reload time 35 seconds. But of course the idea here is to kill everything in a site before we run out of ammo and have to reload. Then we can reload as we warp to the next site. Most of the damage is going to come from the drones anyway, but I do want this thing to be accurate. I mean, we could put little baby light missile launchers on, but the DPS would be appalling. Not that you need a lot of DPS. So we'll do that. We'll go to charges. We'll get some Scourge Fury, which are the high damage missiles. When we mouse over, we see the maximum flight range is 32 kilometers, which is fine, and the damage is 222 DPS. That's okay, that's fine. Let's get some drones on this thing. What we're going to do obviously is medium scout drones, and instead of doing Tech 2, I am going to get some Caldari Navy Vespas. I mean, these things are going to have an insane amount of shield. Just show info. Anything in green is something that has been affected by skills or the ship. Scroll down, shield capacity 3,780 hit points. Now these should last on their own. They should be able to face tank the whole site, because most of the sites we're going to be running in highsec are going to feature mostly frigates and destroyers. And frigates and destroyers like to aggress medium drones, so we need our drones to be tanky. So that's why I've gone for faction drones. You may very well put a drone durability rig just to make them even more survivable. Right, we'll go to drone upgrades now. I'm going to do 2 drone damage amplifiers. So the damage is now 682. As I said, you do not need a lot of damage to kill frigates and destroyers. What you need to do is to kill them quickly. And that means applying your damage, because we're going to be using medium drones to shoot at small targets, so they're going to need to be accurate. And the way we're going to make them accurate, we're going to put an omnidirectional tracking link on, which improves the optimal range and tracking of our drones. And it can be scripted, so we'll go to charges, get a tracking speed script, whack that in, there you go, that's the drones more accurate. Let's just put a durability rig on now. We're kind of making this build piecemeal, throwing things in random slots as we go. Drone rig, medium drone rig, durability enhancer. We'll put a Tech 2 on. If we need to reduce it to a Tech 1 later, we'll do that. So now our drones, they were like 3,000 shield. Now they're up to 4,725, which is almost as good as a cruiser, which is insane, but that's the life of the Gila. Right, scanning. We're going to need a probe launcher of some description. I'll probably splash out and buy a sister's probe launcher. Yes, it's 33 million. You feel free to cheap out on Tech 2 if you want, but let's get some sister's core scanner probes as well. I'm not going to go insane and buy RSS, which are 1 point in scan strength higher than the sisters ones, but they cost nearly 40 million each. Let's go for the sisters, which are 400,000 each. RSS are an insane luxury. So that'll help let us scan anything we want. Right, tank wise. I am not going to do a passive tank on this ship. A lot of people love making the Gila into like some sort of weird passive tank Drake thing, but that will use up all the rest of our slots to get a decent passive tank. Because remember, we're planning to go from site to site to site to site without stopping. I haven't got time to stop and wait and let my shields recharge. So I'm going to get a shield booster on this thing. We're going to go active tank, because active tank needs less slots as well. Let's go for a large and hopefully get an enduring. Okay, we'll go for an enduring at the minute. Even though we do get 20% to all shield resistances from the ship traits, it's still not great. So we'll put a single multi-spectrum shield hardener 2 on. That'll do. That's enough for highsec work. We're mostly going to be operating this ship in Kandari space, so the enemies will be Guristas, and they mainly do kinetic damage, so 68% kinetic, that's absolutely fine. Capacitor obviously is going to need some help, so we'll go for... Can we get a large compact cap battery on? Yes. Cap's still not happy, but that's fine, we'll sort that out later. Movement wise, we don't really need this ship to move all that much. Can we get a compact 50 MN? No, that's fine. We'll just do a 10 meganewton afterburner. We'll do an enduring one. That'll probably do. And because I would need to actually be able to target all these small things fast, because I want to run the sites fast, I don't want to be waiting 10 or 12 seconds to target each frigate. I'm going to do a sensor booster. We'll do sensor booster 2. Go to charges. Get a scan resolution script so it targets nice and fast. Okay, let's toggle off the afterburner because we're not probably going to be moving. The hideaways and refuges are going to be the sites we're going to be farming, and dens if we find any. Hideaways come in two flavours. One of them drops you between 12 and 15 kilometres from the targets, and the other one drops you about 30. Refuges drop you either pretty much at 0 or at around 12 to 15. So that's really the only range we need, is like 30 kilometres, so we don't have to move all that much. The only reason I'm going to move is in escalations, if we get any, or to pick up any loot from commanders we get in the sites. Missile range is 32. Drones go all the way out to 60. This is all skills based. That's something else I should have mentioned on my character sheet. Augmentations, I am again in an empty clone, so everything you're seeing is skills based, but then I do have almost maximum skills. Right, let's sort out this capacitor, because 3 minutes and 4 is not good enough. So we'll go to modules and we'll go to engineering and we'll get a cap flux coil if I can. Can we get either a restrained or a compact? Okay, we'll go for a restrained. That's gone up to 4 minutes. Hopefully a couple of rigs will sort out the rest of it. 2 cap control 1s. Okay, that seems to work. How about a single cap control 2? Would that work? Apparently yes it would, and that leaves us a little tiny sliver of, well, leaves us 50 calibration. So if we go up here to the resources filter, we'll filter it by remaining resources, and then we'll filter it by rigs, and now we're left with a list of all the rigs that will still fit on the ship. Targeting rig, ionic field projector, I believe that's targeting range. Yeah, that's not what we need. Shield rigs, yeah. Drone rigs, what have we got? The problem with drone rigs is that they nerf the CPU, so any drone rig we fit will burst the CPU, so let's not do drone rigs. How about we just put an EN shield reinforcer on, just to balance it out? I mean, I'm not actually planning on fighting anything that does EM, but drones do. We could run some drone combat sites. I'm not sure why you would, because only one of them escalates, and it escalates to a tenable site. So I might not do that. How about missile launcher rigs? What have we got? That will also burst the CPU. Okay, let's not do that. Astronautic rigs. I mean, there's a warp speed rig. That will get us to and from sites a little bit faster. Only 20%. And what's this? What's the drawback on this? Increased signature radius. Don't really care about that. Is it worth that to go from 4 AU a second to 4.8? I can't really think of anything else I'd rather have. I mean, that scanning thing is only for increasing the scan speed. Not even of probes. It's cargo scanner, ship scanner, and service scanner. So let's not do that. Yeah, let's just do a warp speed rig. Why not? I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. There we go. Put all the filters back to where they should be. And I think that's how we're going to go. Really tanky drones. Decent damage on them. 682 DPS is more than enough for what we're going to be doing. It's 10 minutes even with the afterburner on, so that'll be okay for running sites. I mean, it's not the fastest ship, but over 600 meters a second with just an afterburner. It's fast enough for what we're going to be doing with it. Right, I shall go and buy this, and then I'll meet you in space when I'm running sites, hopefully. Kandari space is extremely congested, so wish me luck. Right, I have purchased a Gila, as you can see, and as you can see, we're on the way to a Guristas hideaway. So let's turn on all the things, because we know we're cap stable with the afterburner off. Let's see how fast this thing can do it, or whether or not any of the 23 other people that are in the system are in the same site. They probably are. Come on, warp speed rig, warp faster. Dear God, there's no one here. Okay, this is one of the ones that drops us at 12. The ones that drop us at 30 will have a big telescope thing in the middle. While we're here, let's do some scanning. I think the drones are killing things before I can target lock them. This is not a bad thing. And even the missiles are one-shotting these guys. Well, you can see from the clock that's on the screen how long that took. Not very long.
Warp drive active.
And even the missiles were one-shotting everything. As I said, we should be okay for running one site without ever having to reload, and then we can reload in warp as we're doing now. It's a wormhole, don't want that. Again, one trick you can do with scanning, all scan signatures will spawn within 4 AU of a planet. So what you can do, you can put your probes on 4 AU and stick them on the nearest planet like this, And this should, if I've lined up my probes correctly, instantly turn to a red dot somewhere in here. And it looks like I'm nowhere near the ping, but I know it will be within 4 AU of this planet. And there we go. Red ping. Saved myself 1 scan cycle. Instead of starting at 8 AU, I was able to start at 4. Speeds things along. Drone assembly is the one that actually escalates to a 3 out of 10, but the drone 3 out of 10 is absolute garbage. It's another wormhole. Right, on to the next system. Let's go. Get my probes back first. Okay, quite a few combat anomalies. There's 3 hideaways and 3 refuges here, and 3 cosmic signatures, and only 4 people here. Let's just do the signatures really quickly. Even though the ship is unbonused for scanning, because I'm using Sister's probes and I've got max skills, it means 76 strength is enough. This is another one that drops us a 15 because it's got this square bunker thing, so drones go out. That gets target locked. That is a wormhole, don't want that. Missiles will probably kill that before the drones get there. And the drones have one-shotted that guy. That's a relic site. Don't want that. Now if you see something like this, which are 2 dots, it's usually the one that's furthest away from where your probes are. So we'll have a go. We'll go back up to 4 AU. These guys have not auto-aggressed. I mean, I could have used auto-targeting missiles on this ship, but as you see, these guys did not aggress. Okay, I got the wrong ping, so it's this one down here. Commander names for Guristas. Hey, there we go. There's an escalation. There's a Guristas scout outpost. 4 of 10. Because the good thing about Guristas, well, and the bad thing about Guristas, is that the hideaways and refuges both provide a 4 out of 10 escalation, which is nice. So we have one, but we'll check where it is after we've cleared the system. This is probably a data site, or if it is a combat site, it's going to be a watch or a vigil. I can tell that through years of bit of experience and how difficult things are to track down. Okay, we're at 15 again on this site. I should probably stop scanning this thing. I know what it's going to be. Right, go drones, go. You just kill this guy. Oh, there he is. Boop. Yep, data site. It's probably going to be a limited sleeper cache. I might not even be able to... Well, I know I wouldn't be able to scan it anyway because I don't have enough strength. Just put 2 missiles into each of these guys. Yeah, that's me at the minimum and still nowhere near scanning it. But that's okay because the only results we care about are combat sites. There we go, that's another site done. The name of the commanders we're looking for in Guristas space are Dread Guristas.
Active.
So if in the final wave we see something called Dread Guristas, whatever, that's a commander and they can drop nice things. So far so good, I think. That's another hideaway just spawned in. That's lovely. Why is there no one in Kaldari space? Is it the time of day? I don't know. It's another one that's dropping us off at 15. Get the drones out. Target lock these guys. Okay, one of them's going to aggress. The other one can get missiles in the face. They're both dead. That guy's dead. Drones aggress that guy. Boop, dead. So yeah, this is how it's going to go. I'll clear out the other hideaway here, and if we get a commander, then I'll show you what we got. If not, I'll meet you at the refuges.
Drive active.
Right, that's these 2 hideaways cleared out. Let's get on to the refuges, see how quick this ship can do them. We'll just... I was going to say quickly reload, but we'll slowly reload as we warp in. With a warp speed rig. And someone's already here, so we'll just leave him to do what he's doing. He's in a Navy ship as well. He's in an Osprey Navy issue.
Active.
Give him a bit of a in local, and then leave. I never find it worth the effort to race someone in a site, because then he'll just follow you to the next site and you'll have to race him again, and then the next site I'll just leave and start my own site. Okay, here we go. Easy is dropping us pretty much at 0. So drones go out straight away. Target the frigates, get them off the field. We should be in no danger at all in this site. In fact, the drones have just literally one-shotted that turret, which is quite hilarious. Because Gila drones are insanely powerful. Look at that, it's just mental. And the developers think it's okay for free-to-play players to have full access to Gila. Obviously, they won't have maximum skills on it, but it's a little bit ridiculous that free-to-play players can have ships like this, and I will die on that hill. I mean, the drones are just not in any trouble at all. The missiles are applying really well. Everything's dying really quickly. This is what we want. We are in absolutely no danger at all, because we're a cruiser with a large shield booster and decent resistances, like 68% kinetic. I mean, we're just monstering everything. Again, if we had auto-targeting missiles, I wouldn't have to target lock anything, because the missiles automatically fire at anything in range which is aggressive. But as you see, not a lot of things are aggressing me. They're trying to aggress my drones, and that means that the missiles wouldn't know what to do. That's one reason I didn't choose them. I always just check the salvage tab just to make sure that nothing says Guristas small commander wreck, just in case I screwed up and missed something. Let's go to the next refuge and hope the other guy isn't there.
Drive active.
But yeah, we seem to be clearing these sites extremely quickly. Let's just do a reload, as I knew we would. So I'll carry on doing this, and I'll bring you back if I get any commanders, and then I'll run all the rest of the sites and all the rest of this constellation, and if I find anything cool, obviously I'll show you. Right, next system over has a den. Let's just go to a den. Now, dens only spawn in 0.6 and 0.5 in highsec, so they're relatively rare. These come in 2 different types. One of them has light missile batteries, and that will spawn frigates and destroyers, and the other one has heavy missile batteries and will spawn destroyers and cruisers. And the commander on this is always a cruiser. Even if it's the destroyer and frigate version, the commander will be a cruiser. And dens will provide a 5 out of 10 escalation. But ain't no way I'm taking this Gila into a 5 to 10. Okay, it's a heavy missile version. Okay. Now, there are 30 other people in local, so I'm expecting us to get disturbed at some point. I've target locked my own drone, so unlock that. I'll get the frigates. Drones will get the heavy missile batteries. And then the destroyers. Dens can take some time. So obviously more ships and larger ships take longer to kill. There's a hidden hideaway. We're not going to do that because hidden, forlorn and forsaken hideaways do not provide escalations. Don't believe anyone that tells you they do, because I know for a fact they don't, because I've been running them for God knows how many years now and never ever had any escalation from them ever. So we'll just right click and ignore it, and we'll right click and ignore the drone assembly, just so I'm left with only the sites I actually want to run, so I don't accidentally misclick on something I don't want to run. I mean, these are cruisers, but the drones are one-shotting them because it's a Gila, because Gila are ever so slightly, just a little tiny bit overpowered. And the developers seem completely happy with this state of affairs, which is utterly baffling. No, drones, I wanted you to get the cruisers. There we go. I mean, they're just like ripping them to shreds, just like two-shotting cruisers. It's stupid. It's absolutely insane. .680 DPS is not massive. It's respectable for a pirate cruiser. It's more the application on this thing is really, really good. They're trying to jam us, but it's not working. So what is everyone else in the system doing? Is there... I was going to say, are there ice belts here? But if there were, they would be on the list. So I don't know what everyone else in the system's doing. But that was a den. And that was the big version of the den with the heavy missile batteries. And nothing happened. So onwards.
Warp drive active.
Oh, we have a Dread Guristas commander. Well, we did, but he's dead now. Let's have a look what he dropped. Turn the afterburner on. I'll turn the shield booster off, because even though the ship is cap stable with the afterburner off, warping also chews caps. So I'll turn the shield booster off for this site, because we don't really need it. Again, this is where I would really like to have had a micro warp drive, so one pulse of micro warp would get us into range, just to grab it. Let's have a look what the commander dropped. And the survey said just some faction ammo and a faction tag. Something here is worth 7 million. Oh, the rockets. Okay, apparently 1,000 Dread Guristas Scourge rocket is worth 7.7 million, so I'll take those, and then we'll just leave everything else. There we go. Nice little bonus there. Onwards to the next site. I'll see you when something happens. Just as an aside, the 30-odd people in the system are mostly consisting of EVE University players, so it's new players doing some sort of instructional class. I was very perplexed why there were 30 people in the system with no ice belts, but mystery solved. They're here for a teaching exercise. Alright, we have another Guristas Scout outpost. Huzzah! And I have found a combat site, but unfortunately it's a deep flow rift, and I will not be doing that. Deep flow rifts are stupid fishing things. There's a little rift, and you fire a tractor beam at it, and you have to do it slowly. If you do it too quickly, then a defense fleet arrives and kills you. But you get little silly loot boxes, and they can actually earn you a decent amount of money, but it's really boring gameplay, so I'm not going to show you. I can't do it anyway because I don't have a tractor beam. Onwards. And this is the other version of a den. As we see, it has light missile batteries, so this will spawn a lot of frigates and destroyers instead of cruisers and destroyers like the other one we did was. So we'll just spend some time here, see how long it takes us to clear this. We know how fast the drones were smashing cruisers. They actually one-shotted one of them, which was insane. But then Gila be Gila. You see, more gun turrets do actually pop up in these sites, which is interesting. If we do get a commander, the commander will be a cruiser. The drones will split their fire, because of course they have, but then I'm a Gila, so I'm perfectly okay with that, to be honest. Everything's just dying nice and quick, because that's what you want. What you want to do is to complete as many sites as possible, so you can farm up your escalations and then go and run them, because the escalations is where the money's at. Well, hopefully. Oops, misclicked. Fired missiles at a destroyer. Right, no commander, that's another den done. No escalation either. Well, we found something cool. We found a combat site, which is a scanned site. That's this Desolate Site. That is a drone site. But the good thing about the Desolate Site in the chemical yard and the haunted yard is that they have a guaranteed commander spawn. So after we've done the next Gurista hideaway and the next Gurista den, I'll show you what a Desolate Site looks like.
Warp drive active.
Well, we've finally got the other version of the hideaway. As you see, we've been dropped about 30 away from this big telescope. So there we go. What's the range on our missiles? 32. Jolly good. Well, the drones will get there before we do. And before our missiles do. So we'll just let the drones kill everything. Turn off the shield booster. Nothing's going to get within range to aggress us. Anything that aggresses will probably aggress the drones. And the drones will just murder it. So I just want to be closer to the thing just in case a commander spawns so I can scoop the loot and go. Again, the drones killed that just before I could get a lock on it. And they're about to one-shot this guy. And no commander. Stop the ship. Recall the drones. Go to the den. And then the Desolate Site.
Warp drive active.
Well, that den didn't escalate and it didn't give us a commander either. That's annoying. I mean, dens are fairly rare. And I've run about 8 of them and nothing. So let's go to the Desolate Site. There was no pop-up when we clicked warp because it is not a DED rated site. These are unrated sites, and the unrated sites have 100% chance of having a drone commander. Now we are using kinetic damage, but we do 680 of it, so I'm sure we'll be fine for killing drones.
Warp drive
Drones
active.
being weakest to EM, second weakest to thermal, and we do get bonuses to thermal missiles. So I could have carried some EM or thermal missiles, but I wasn't really planning on running any drone sites. I only ran this one because it's got a guaranteed commander. The commander spawns over here with this lot, which are further away. So let's approach them. Just target lock as much as we can. Get the drones to go and shoot the guys further over. Sometimes there's a little group of destroyers that goes here. Now these harvesters are made of tissue paper. As you can tell, one missile killed them. Just do one on him. Keep the drones killing this lot over here. I'll kill the ones that are close. And apparently this destroyer group's decided not to turn up today. That's okay. Now drones, stay there. Kill these guys. There you go. I'll slowly grind my way over there. Yeah, sometimes there is another group which spawns here with a destroyer and a couple of frigates, but they have not appeared today. And as drones, of course, nothing is dropping anything in its wreck. And they won't, because they're drones. The only drones that drop anything are the commanders. But there's some destroyers in this one as well. That's probably close enough. Afterburner off, stop the ship. And we'll just annihilate it. Even though we're fighting, air quotes, the wrong damage type, because kinetic is their second highest resist, it's still only 27, and we do have 680 DPS. So, yeah, things be dying just fine, yo. The commander will be a sentient drone. There he is, the sentient silverfish. So approach him. Turn the afterburner back on. That's the first thing that needs to die. There he goes. It's the one and only wreck that's got loot. Where is it? There you go. What has he dropped? Absolute bullshit. Yeah. Drones is not the best. They do have sentient modules which can drop. We'll just have a look for these in the market. Sentient. Yeah, they can drop all this stuff. That sells for 30 mil. That's 67. That's 6. That's 17. That's 3.5. 2.5. 36. That's a good one. 89.9. Well, sentient damage control. I have found a couple of these in highsec sites. 372 million and the sentient burst jammer 214. But these are like quite rare rolls on the sentient loot table. But the good thing about them is that they're not sized, so like a small, medium or large sentient can drop any of these things. As I said, I have found some of the sentient damage controls on my travels over the years, so that's like the only reason I ran this site at all, is because I knew it had a guaranteed sentient. Well, I've come to the end of my waypoint, so apparently we have 2 Guristas Scout Outpost 4 out of 10 sites to run. So we'll adjourn and I'll meet you when we get there. Alright, we've made it to the site of the first of the 2 escalations. Here we go. This is the blurb you get when you warp in. DED Threat Assessment 4 out of 10. This site consists of 2 rooms. The first room you cannot blitz, second room you can. Second room, the boss is a structure, which is a little bit annoying. Not quite as easy to blitz as some other sites where the boss is an enemy NPC. We're far too close to the gate, probably going to bounce off. Yeah, just a little bit. We'll just afterburn down a little bit. Now we can go. Some more blurb. Active. And here we go. Right, first room. Lots of bad guys. It's kind of like 2 main groups. There's this big lot here, and then there's these little frigates at the back. Let's just target lock the frigates, and I'll get 1 missile in each of those. This Guristas Scout Officer is a commander. I believe they drop one of the DED Overseer's loot boxes. Right, good. We've got some aggression now. Here we go, here they come. Let's spit the drones out. Now we've actually got the aggression. I'd rather things shot at me rather than my drones, because I can handle it. Well, I say I can handle it. There is a respectable amount of DPS in this room. I'm not... Yeah, 32. I thought for some reason that my missiles were 22 kilometers. It's not, it's 32. Right, that cruiser there appears not to be doing anything, which means he's probably aggressed the drones, so he's the next thing to die. Everything seems pretty chill. I'm just going to approach the Guristas Scout Officer. Just so I'm, A, so I'm moving to cut down the damage I'm taking, and B, so I'm closer to scoop his loot. There's 2 reasons I'm doing that. I'm just going to put 1 missile in each of the frigates, 2 on that one. The drones are doing their own thing, that's fine. Right, drones, you can come back and get the officer, please. There you go, I've killed the frigates. I'll have a go at this mortifier. One thing I could have done was to change the multispectrum shield hardener out for a Tech 2 kinetic. That would raise our kinetic resist from 68 to 79. Oh, we've killed the officer. Let's have a look in his wreck.
A module has run out of
There's
charges.
a box. 600,000 guaranteed. That's always there.
A module has run out of charges.
Damn, run out of missiles during a site. That's annoying.
A module has run out of charges.
35 seconds of my life I can't get back. Right, drones need to kill the frigates, because I have spotted the little tiny sliver of red on one of my drones, which means that they're under fire. I'm going to turn off my shield booster because I don't need it at the moment. I'll turn it back on if and when I need it. Drones be taking out frigates fine, because we've got a drone tracking computer on my ship, which is happy days. Turn the shield booster back on. Why did the ship stop? Get moving. Approach the acceleration gate, you turd. There we go. Second room, I believe the telescope's at about 45 kilometre range, I want to say. So if you've got long range, like heavy missiles, or you can think your drones can tank the damage from the entire room on their own, you can send your drones out to kill a telescope straight away and then drag it in with a mobile tractor unit or something. But I think we'll go for a full clear, because why not? I mean, this room can be a little bit nasty if you let everything get on top of you, but we've got stupid amounts of DPS. I mean, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that some of our Tech 1 battle cruisers don't get anywhere near the damage this thing does.
Warp drive active.
682 DPS, and we're not even trying that hard. We've only got 2 damage controls. There we are. There's the radiating telescope. And my brain works because it's exactly 46 kilometers. Hurrah! Right, let's see how the drones do. Can we sneak the drones through all this stuff? Now, this Guristas reconnaissance officer is a fake commander. It is not a commander. It does not drop any loot. The radiating telescope is what it is, because it's actually correctly labelled as a Dead Space Overseer structure. Just keep an eye on the drones, see how much damage they take. Which I'm assuming is going to be a decent chunk. Once everything realises what's happening, the drones is going to get aggressed. We're going to have to approach the telescope anyway, because we're going to have to go and swoop in and grab the loot. Yeah, the drones are starting to take damage now, but the telescope's almost through its armour. I'm not sure how much structure it's got. I think it might be one of these annoying things that's got like 1 million structure hit points. I'm going to approach something that's close to it, not the telescope itself, because if the telescope dies, then the ship will stop, because the thing it was approaching no longer exists. Okay, one of the drones seems to be under fire from everything, but he's face tanking it because Gila, and he's got like 4,000 shield hit points. Okay. I mean, everything in the room is shooting at this one drone, and he's just like, psst, don't care. He's only on 50% shield. And telescope gone. That cargo container is what we need. I'm bringing the drones back. Both of them are under fire now. Everything's woken up. I'm just going to swoop in, grab the loot, and send destination to the next site. Grab that. You can get big loot in this site, and we did not. That's annoying.
Warp drive active.
We got a single Python C-type EM shield amplifier. That's sad. You can get up to 4 modules dropping, one of which is an extremely expensive Pyth C-type multi-spectrum shield hardener. Remember, look on the market, it's worth 395 million. So yes, that is the big loot you can get from that site. We'll see what happens in the next one. Let's go.
Warp drive active.
Right, here we are. Let's speed through the second and final 4 of 10 and see what we get in the end. Let's get some music on, shall we? Let's go. And this time we did get 3 modules, but the combined value of them is only 9 million. That's annoying. let's bust this joint.
Warp drive active.
Right, so that was the Gila. It works very well. I knew it would. It is one of the most ludicrously overpowered ships in the whole game, but the developers seem quite happy with that state of affairs, so who am I to judge? I've only been playing the game since 2008. We only found like 30 million-esque worth of stuff, 26.9. Not great, not terrible. We did get one commander and 2 escalations out of our one little adventure, so that was fine. I mean, this ship will easily pay for itself within like a day. If I was to go back out and do a little bit more farming, get some more escalations or a few more commanders, we would easily find enough money to pay for the whole ship. Is there anything I would change on the fit? Probably not. It works just fine. But to be honest, there is something you can do. What you can do, you can get rid of the large enduring shield booster, which is doing 59.5 hit points a second, and replace it with a dead space one. You go down to medium shield boosters and dead space and get a Pitham C-type medium. Put that on. You go down from 59 to 54 hit points a second, but it requires a lot less cap. That means you don't need the Flux coil, so you can put on a third drone damage amp to put the damage up from 682 to 736, and if you turn the afterburner off, you don't even need the rig anymore. So then what you can do, you go to rigs, shield rigs, medium shield rigs, and you've probably got enough calibration to fit a Tech 2 defense operational solidifier, which speeds up the cycle time of the shield booster, and that puts it up to 67.9. So we were doing 59.5 with a large shield booster. Now we're doing 67.9 with a medium, and we're doing a lot more DPS. The cap's not quite happy, but we can fix that as well. We've got a lot more fitting space now, so you can get rid of the compact cap battery, and if you want, you can come down to large and stick a Republic Fleet large cap battery on, and then it is cap stable with the afterburner off. Of course, that costs you lots of money because Republic Fleet cap batteries are 26 million, and the dead space shield booster is another 73, so we've just dumped another 100 million ISK on this thing to boost the repairs by another 8 hit points a second, and we've added a significant amount of DPS. Did we need more repair? Probably not. Did we need more DPS? Probably not. We ran like the biggest site you're going to do in this ship, which is a 4 out of 10. You can tinker this thing to run 5 out of 10s. I really wouldn't suggest that you do that. But the good thing is most of the 5 out of 10s only do a single damage type. So we can put a kinetic shield hardener on for 79 kinetic shield and run around and try and kill things with our 736 DPS. I mean, you probably could do a 5 out of 10 in this, but to be honest, I'd rather just go and farm more 4s, because 5s take a little while and they're a little bit scary, and their big ticket loot isn't all that much better than 4s, to be honest. But you would still run Denge anyway, just because they're fun, so you can get a cruiser commander and maybe get a Python C-type shield booster from one of them, I don't know. But anyway, that's what you can do with a Gila. I mean, you can spend ridiculous amounts on a Gila. If you've seen a Gila fitted for running T5 and T6 Abyss, it costs about 7.2 billion ISK. So yeah, Gila are disgustingly overpowered, but they work just fine. So come back next time and we'll take out another pirate cruiser, probably a Cinnabal next time. So I'll see you for that, and until then, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon.